Okay, let's look at this one. Write the code that prompts user to enter 30 temperatures. Beginning to sound familiar. So here I've asked you to do this for a while loop. Normally you won't get constraints like this, but we would just want to practice using while loops. So 30 temperatures. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves a count value, and we're going to set it to 1. And this happens automatically in a for loop, but we're going to have to explicitly do that. And what I'm also going to do is insert a page break here, in between two pages. So count is assigned the value of 1, and so while count is less than or equal to 30, because I want to do it 30 times, and I'm going to move over here, and what I'll do is I'm going to ask them to enter 30 temperatures. So I prompt the user, output, enter temperature, and then I'll have a temperature variable is assigned the value of input, and no, over here I said add these to an array of average, and add these to an array and calculate the average temperature. Okay, so I'm going to add these to an array. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write temperature, and I've said this will be 30, so I have an array of 30 temperatures. So let's set this at an array, and we'll just come over here and temp, and we'll add the value count to this. So this will be the first element. So count is starting at value 1, and this will be the first element, and I'm going to add that into the array. Now I'm going to have to calculate the average. So in order to calculate the average, I also have to calculate the total. So total is assigned the value of total plus the temperature that I've just read in. Okay, and now I need to increment count. So count is assigned the value of count plus 1. This happens automatically in a for loop when we write next counts at the end of the for loop, but we don't do that on a while loop. We have to do it explicitly. So end while. So we end our while loop, and now at the end of our while loop we have the values we need for average. So we can say average is assigned the value of the total divided by count, and then we can output average temperature is, and then concatenate the average. But the one thing that we've left off here is, now that we've done it, we can come back here and we can say, look, we need total up here, so we add ourselves a total variable which has to have an initial value of 0, and an average variable which needs to have an initial value of 0, and we've got the count, and that looks good. So I generally tend to read through the question and I start looping. I put my data structure here, I start looping, and I just add the variables when they're needed, and then I go back and I initialize them. My battery's running low, and we're going to stop this one now.